While growing up, my childhood was filled with stories about my father. Oftentimes, my mom would look at me and my brother Jay and tell us how we reminded her so much of him. So, who was Anthony J. Wynn?
He was your father. He was my husband until he passed away in 2004. He was an amazing person. He was, in his obituary, his daughter in law put he was larger than life, and that kind of describes him really well. When he walked in a room, the whole room just was subject to him. He just had a commanding presence about him. It wasn't something that was forceful, it was just who he was. He was just awesome. His laugh probably is what I miss the most, because when he laughed, he would throw his head back and he would just laugh his whole being.
My father was the son of the first black physician in a city in Georgia, and the grandson of the first black store owner in the part of Florida he grew up in. He was a master sergeant in the U.S. Army, a LPN, a program director at DHEC, as well as an assistant with medical evacuations. Unfortunately, he passed away soon before my 6th birthday after having a stroke while playing cards with his friends.
Yes, I do remember getting the phone call from his friend Walter, and he said something's wrong with Tony. He's confused, he's walking around, and we don't know what to do with him. And I just said, call the ambulance and bring him to Lexington Medical Center, because that's where I'm working right now. So, but his brain ended up herniating. His brainstem ended up herniating, and that's what ultimately killed him. So I'm not sure that my memory of it is really good. Like, it's just kind of fuzzy. I felt like almost like I was in a daze for a while, I guess, like in shock or something. But I also felt like there were so many people praying for us. I kind of felt like God just had picked me up at that time and was just carrying me through it. I still feel like I have part of him, because so much of your personality is like him, or your sense of humor.
My mother was in a bad marriage prior to meeting my father and says that he helped her learn what a functional marriage looks like and how to love again. She spoke about how through the grace of God and the man my dad was, there was a lot of healing. Even my stepfather, Ron, is thankful for the impact that my dad had on my mom's life. I asked my mom if there was one thing she could say to my dad, what would it be?
I would tell him I love him, I miss him, and I appreciated him very much.
It's not uncommon at family events for people to sit around and tell stories about my father. Everyone who's ever met him has been impacted by him in some way. This is Alicia Wynn, Clemson University, Clemson News Now.